No matter how much time and effort you put into having a beautiful lawn, it's still bound to happen. Dreaded brown spots in your grass. Today I'm going to talk to you about 4 of the most common reasons you have brown spots in your lawn and how you can easily take care of those issues and fix the problem. Unfortunately, one of the main culprits when it comes to putting brown spots in your grass is our 4-legged friends. When your dog or your cat pees in your grass, that pees high in urea and nitrogen, and one way to be able to tell if that's the issue is when you look at the brown spot. The center of it should be pretty dark brown, and then the outside is going to have a green ring around it because of that excess nitrogen. That's one telltale sign that the brown spots that you have are coming from your dog or your cat or whatever animal you have going to the bathroom in your lawn. So there are some easy fixes for this. One, they sell pills that you can put in your dog's water that are going to change the pH of their water, which isn't going to kill your grass off. Those are available on Amazon. I'll put a link to that in the description. The second thing you can do is just go outside with your pet when they go use the bathroom. As soon as they do, spray it down with a hose, because as my uncle who works at a nuclear power plant told me, the solution to pollution is dilution. While it can be really irritating to look out and see a little brown spot in your beautiful green grass, there are some really easy fixes to this that don't really take much time or effort. It may be hard to see on camera right now, but right here is a perfect example of a pee spot from our dog. It's all brown right here and everything outside of it is nice and dark green. My favorite tool for this, for fixing a dog pee spot, is not even a lawn tool at all. It's just a screwdriver. So with the screwdriver, what I do is I'll pull back, which is gonna remove all those brown blades of grass, and then I'm going to take the grass from the outside, I'm going to pull it all toward the middle. So starting a few inches out away from that spot, start to take that grass and just pull it toward the middle, and that's going to bring that nice green grass into that spot that used to be brown, and it's going to look beautiful, and you won't even be able to tell that this is here after a couple days. The next common issue that causes brown spots in your grass is something that really affects me in my area where it's hot and humid in the summertime, and that's disease and fungus. One great way to prevent fungus in your lawn is to make sure that you're watering your grass the right way, which means watering in the morning time, early in the morning, and not over-watering your grass. I get free unlimited water out here, and people say I would water my grass all the time if I were you. But if I did that, my fungus would be out of control. So watering roughly 3 times a week, and you don't need any more than really an inch of water every week. You would think when the temperatures get hot, you need to keep dumping more and more water on that grass to keep it green, but you don't. I maintain my backyard at a ½ inch like a golf course, and I only use about an inch of water every single week for this. Whether that be rainfall or irrigation, I try not to go overboard in the water, because if I do, in the past, I've had lots of fungus issues. One of the most common issues I deal with is called Pythium Blight, and if you go out in the lawn in the morning time, around 5, 6 a.m., if you're crazy like me and you get up early to do stuff like that, you'll notice what looks like spider webs all over your grass, and that's a telltale sign that you have Pythium, which is going to deteriorate your grass. It's going to make it turn gray and brown and kill it off. Something you can do about that though is put down a fungicide, something like propiconazole. That's going to prevent that spread of that fungus. It's not going to cure it or fix it right away, but it'll prevent it from spreading. And one thing I like to do once I have that fungus damage, which is going to happen, going through with a pitchfork or just taking a screwdriver and poking holes into that area, alleviating some of that compaction and just providing that area with some oxygen is going to help with your fungus issue, because that's the main culprit with fungus, is that your grass stays wet overnight time. It doesn't have a chance to dry out. Everything is wet, and that fungus just goes crazy in that environment. So by poking holes in that with either a pitchfork, a screwdriver, whatever you have available. If you want to aerate that area, you can do that too, but that's going to help your grass bounce back after you already have the issues with fungus, which are causing those brown spots. The third most common reason for your brown spots in your grass comes down to insects and grubs. Grubs can completely ruin your lawn if you don't get them under control, and the best way to take care of them is to prevent them, and that's done in late April, early May. If you have a climate like mine, that's during the life cycle of those grubs when they're going to start reproducing. So if you can prevent them at that time, you're in the best situation. However, if you maybe haven't done that and you're starting to notice that you've got brown areas, when you pull up on that grass, if it pulls up really easily, take a look in the dirt. There's a good chance that you're going to see little white grubs that are eating all the roots of your grass. If that's the case, getting a grub killer, something that's going to work on contact, I'll put a couple links in the description for some things that'll work for you. But eliminating those things now, because it's just going to continue to get it worse. And in the fall, skunks and other animals can hear those grubs underground, and they'll come through and they will rip your lawn up to go eat those. So while the grubs eat all your roots, the animals looking for the grubs will also tear your grass up. For the people with warm season grass, one common issue that you deal with are what are called army worms, and they act in a similar way as grubs, getting into the root zone of your grass, eating up those roots to provide energy for themselves, but killing your grass in the process. So if you see little army worms starting to appear in your lawn, it's a good idea, if you want to try to maintain green grass, to do something about those army worms. The last common reason for brown spots in your lawn comes down to dry areas that you have in your grass. I have in-ground irrigation, but still there are times when the wind blows and there's certain areas of the lawn that just don't get enough water. One good way to tell if you're getting enough water in a certain area is just to take a screwdriver, push it into the soil. If it goes in easily down to about 4 or 5 inches, you've got enough water in that area. If it's really difficult to push that in, you've got a dry spot. And one of my favorite things to do for dry spots is use what's called hydrotame. Hydrotame pulls humidity and moisture out of the air and brings it down into the soil, and it allows you to use about 50% less water for those dry areas. So instead of going out with a hose all the time and having to do that, if I put down hydrotame, it helps maintain that moisture and it keeps me from getting those brown spots that you would get if you have a dry spot in your lawn. With the knowledge to know what to look for and the tools to fix any of those problems that pop up, you can have a thick green, beautiful lawn all growing season long. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.